suffering makes God's existence unlikely.
So I got to debate Alex O'Connor on Jubilee, but I didn't get to debate him on this topic. So I'm going to let him lay out his argument and then give my response.
What exactly about suffering makes this unlikely on the condition that God exists?
I think that if God is all loving, then he probably wouldn't want his creatures to suffer. And so I think that the fact that they do suffer makes his existence less likely.
Okay, perfect. And is there some specific aspect of suffering that you're particularly honing in on, horrendous or whatever
in particular, non-human animal suffering? Because I think that the Christianity has a celebrated tradition of theodicies trying to explain why suffering exists. Yeah. Human free will, the development of the soul, higher order goods, all of this kind of stuff. None of which apply to the suffering of non-human animals.
First off, shout out to my boy Tim in this video. I will tag him down below. You should check out his content. He's amazing. So the first thing I got to point out is this is an internal critique. It's the question, does the Christian worldview actually account for animal suffering? And Alex here says it does not. But the Bible would say otherwise. See, the crazy thing about the gospel and that Jesus is dying on the cross and resurrecting to reconcile us back to himself is it's actually not just for humanity, but as Colossians 1, Paul puts it, that through him he reconciles to himself all things, whether on earth or in heaven, making peace by the blood of his cross. That it's not just humanity that's affected by what Jesus has done, but it's actually all of creation that experiences redemption. So Paul goes even deeper in Romans 8, and he acknowledges that all of creation is dealing with the suffering of the present age. And yet, just like humanity, all of creation is going to be free from its bondage to corruption. And so there may be a question of how that's all going to play out, but the Christian worldview is actually consistent in acknowledging the suffering of non-human creation and that it too, through Jesus, will be redeemed.